Hello, I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and we're continuing our special feature on In the Cellar with visits to the vineyards. This week, we are going to visit the vineyards in Australia, and Chris Cribb and I are here with wines by Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. Australia, and I understand it's Keith Bryan?
Yes.
Okay, winemaker in Australia, has vineyard stomping grapes. So perhaps we should talk about that experience before we talk about his vineyards.
Well,
what did you do this? Did you
I
stomp?
did.
You did?
We came up with an idea to try to do something a little fun a couple years ago up here.
But let's talk about the vineyard. I mean, Keith's work there.
Keith, coming from his pilot career, decided to.
And we should mention Jennifer's a pilot. This
yes.
is very impressive. I mean, you all bonded with the pilot thing.
Instantly.
Instant bonding. It's sort of like food and wine. People would you do too in wine. So, what drew you to his vineyards?
Well, his vineyards and I think his vineyard selection is probably even a better way to put it. He's a French-trained winemaker. He went and studied for 2 years in Burgundy and really learned how to make good wines. But he also learned how to find the right vineyards and to teach vineyard management to people. So his own vineyards, he was doing Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, sparkling wines.
Okay.
And their water is precious. I mean,
it is. They do flood irrigation in many areas, and the farmers have to work together to know that the flood is, they let loose the rivers, and they all work together to know that it's going downhill, so that they're ready for when their water gets to them to water their vineyards. It's pretty sophisticated.
It's a whole nother layer of management that perhaps other vineyards don't have to deal with.
They are in a long drought. They're in this 8-year drought, and it leads to a real stress on the vines, but water management's a very big issue.
The vineyards do look different in Australia than they do in other parts of the world, and so Keith has handpicked.
Keith handpicked, and we brought a couple of the white wines that he does here. These are the 2 different Chardonnays. Keith is working out of Victoria, the province down at the bottom of the state. We do a Chardonnay and then a single vineyard Chardonnay from the Yarra Valley, which is one specific region. The Yarra Valley is known for being more of a cool climate area, so it's just a little higher in elevation coming out, and a little more breezes from the ocean that come through. So it's not as ripe and rich. The other one is has a little less oak to it as well. So thought we would just taste a couple of these here.
Okay, let's do it.
So we can taste and smell that vineyard right here in the wine. So Chardonnay in Australia is usually bright and has tropical fruits too.
Very tropical, yeah.
What would you pair with this Chardonnay?
I would pair this, because of its tropical fruits with and its freshness. I would pair it with a salad that has maybe mandarin oranges and some spiced pecans with a light vinaigrette.
The mandarin orange really kind of would be a good pair with this.
It would be wonderful.
I mean, even something else like if you were, I like sushi.
Oh yes,
perfect. Sushi,
nice, something like that.
Absolutely.
So then, what about this Chardonnay over here? It has a different flavor profile. What would you pair with it?
Sure. The signature Chardonnay has got a little bit more luscious mouthfeel to it.
Okay.
It has the addition of the Thyme oak and the cooler climate. I think more about like a cream sauce
Absolutely,
dish.
Yeah. Maybe over fettuccine with some seafood, because this is so close to the ocean along the coast that it wants some kind of a prawn or some seafood with it.
Okay.
And a cream sauce.
So again, so Keith is a winemaker, and he handpicks the vineyards.
Sure, and the vineyards that he works with vary in age from this vineyard here. The single vineyard's about a 30-year-old vineyard. Australia didn't go through prohibition, so
just kept on keeping on.
Going. So there's some pretty old vineyards in Australia, some of the oldest in the world. But he's tried to find places that have a distinctive distinct personality, which kind of leads us into our third wine that we've got here. This is the Silver Wings Vincenzo Mourvedre Shiraz.
Okay,
So,
and when we think of Australia, we do think of Shiraz.
Right.
We do. Okay.
And that,
What's special about this one?
well, this is a vineyard that is has about 40-year-old vines. All of them are mixed throughout the vineyard, so they don't necessarily, when they pick, they don't necessarily say this is all the Shiraz, this is all the Mourvedre. They pick it, co-pick it all at the same time.
Okay.
And so when they do the crush and all of that piece, all of the wine is together. So it gives it this integration that I think you don't find in a lot of other wines. It gives it a little bit more earthiness, I think.
Yeah, I
How would
agree
you
with that.
describe this flavor in this?
Well, it's rich and bold, but it has some of that old world kind of nuances of that earthiness to it that sometimes you don't always get with a 100% Shiraz.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little more depth.
A little more depth, I would
flavor.
absolutely
What
say.
would you pair it with, folks?
Something on the Barbie.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta do barbecue with that because it's serious food for serious wine.
I mean, I do love, filet mignon,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
something like that.
Big red meat.
Just
Absolutely.
nice. Maybe a pork chop, like a grilled pork chop would be good pair as well.
So it likes things from the grill, especially that,
Yeah, and even some blue cheese maybe would probably be another good. That saltiness in the blue cheese. After, I'd say this is a great wine to go have a nice steak after dinner. Instead of getting the dessert, go ahead, finish
And
your
do a
bottle,
cheese course.
and have a cheese course.
Yep.
It'd be
With
perfect.
that. To everyone's health.
Well, thank you very
Yes.
much for allowing us to
Yes.
come in the cellar at Wines by Jennifer.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.